Boxing IQ. He's very good fighter. He's stronger. He is very compact. He is like a bull, you know. He's a smart guy.
Well, Gennady Golovkin responds, and this is what he had to say, quote, he says, Terence Crawford won't have a problem with Canelo's power because he doesn't have any power.
Bud could possibly be the end for him because Bud has what it takes. I'm not saying Bud will win, but I'm just saying he has what it takes. He's not afraid of Canelo.
Gennady Golovkin recently shared his surprising take on the upcoming clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. According to him, Crawford won't be troubled by Canelo's punching power, since he doesn't see Canelo as a true knockout puncher. Drawing from his own 3 fights against Alvarez, Golovkin argued that Canelo's style hasn't evolved much over the years. He highlighted Crawford's strength and versatility, but also pointed out that every matchup comes with its own challenges, which demand smart and careful preparation.
This is boxing. This is more interesting.
Gennady, let me ask you this. You were there ringside. You saw Canelo.
Yeah.
Did he look better than what he did in the second fight with you? Does he look like he's improving and getting better?
Marcus, I told you just, you know, every opponent gives you different. Every fight is different. Two fights I had, 2 fights with him. First fight and second fight is different, you know, just.
So you think like,
no, I don't feel like, you know, more power, more speed. No, he stayed the same.
Having shared 36 rounds in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, Golovkin believes his perspective carries more credibility than most. He argues that Canelo's offense is built around bursts of combinations and eye-catching knockout attempts, rather than the kind of genuine power punches that wear down top-tier opponents. For Golovkin, this isn't just speculation, it's experience gained firsthand. He has absorbed Canelo's hardest shots and remains convinced they lack the natural force typically associated with a fighter of Alvarez's reputation. By saying this, Golovkin pushes back against the common view of Canelo as a destructive puncher, instead framing him as a boxer who relies more on precision and activity than sheer knockout power.
Golovkin weighs in as everybody's trying to gauge how this fight is going to play out. They anticipate this fight. They want to know how this fight is going to play out. And Gennady Golovkin gives his 2 cents. As his trainer, Abel has been on social media doing multiple interviews and stating that Terence Crawford is simply too small and he's going to lose, right? And Gennady Golovkin, as Abel Sanchez is saying that he's going to get knocked out, right? Because it's too much power. Well, Gennady Golovkin responds, and this is what he had to say, quote, he says, Terence Crawford won't have a problem with Canelo's power because he doesn't have any power. He said, I fought Canelo at 160 and at 68, and I could say he has fast punches, he has fast combinations, but I wouldn't say there were a lot of power there, or power punches, or knockout punches. You saw that. You saw this clean shots that I took, and he brought, and there were no results. End quote. So Gennady Golovkin is saying, he hit me with clean shots. You saw him hit me with clean shots. And the results was, I didn't go anywhere. Now, I know people will say, well, Gennady Golovkin is naturally bigger than Canelo.
Although Gennady Golovkin's former trainer has dismissed Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez, Golovkin himself takes a different stance. He acknowledges Crawford's technical ability and tactical approach, noting that these qualities could create serious problems for Canelo. In Golovkin's view, the matchup has the potential to be far more competitive than many analysts are predicting.
Many still see this as a one-sided beatdown in favor of Canelo Alvarez. Former Golovkin trainer Abel Sanchez, who's been very critical as of lately and said that Canelo will just play with Terence Crawford and by the second half, it'll just be like a sparring session. Sanchez said that Canelo will not only dictate the pace throughout the evening, if Triple G himself couldn't even hurt Canelo, then Crawford's chances are definitely not that great. Sanchez said, quote, Crawford is a great fighter, but that's why weight divisions exist. Neither Bivol could hurt him, nor could my fighter in 2 fights. Triple G's former trainer has also repeatedly emphasized that Crawford should have moved up in weight class a long time ago, and that his jump should have been more gradual and steady, and suggested that skipping divisions will definitely play a role in him potentially losing badly to Canelo Alvarez.
Golovkin's three-fight saga with Canelo Alvarez is still regarded as one of boxing's most memorable rivalries. That's why his continued doubts about Canelo's punching power stand out. His perspective comes from experience in the ring, having absorbed Alvarez's best shots over dozens of rounds. So, when Golovkin suggests that Crawford has what it takes to handle Canelo's offense, the remark instantly grabs attention across the boxing world. Fans and pundits jump on his comments because they challenge the widely accepted view of Canelo as a relentless knockout artist. In doing so, Golovkin reopens the debate over whether Canelo's fearsome reputation comes more from clever promotion or from true fight-to-fight dominance.
Boxing Dr. News. Hey boxing fans, remember the epic Golovkin-Canelo trilogy? Well, get this. GGG once spilled the tea on Canelo's punching power, and it's not what you'd expect. Picture this. 2 legends, 3 fights, and a whole lot of controversy. GGG said Canelo's punches were fast, but not knockout material. Can you believe it? He claimed those clean shots brought no results. Now, fast forward to today. GGG's been out of the ring since their last bout, but rumors are swirling about a comeback. Meanwhile, Canelo's gearing up for a massive showdown with Terence Crawford. The big question is, will Canelo prove GGG wrong and land that knockout punch? It's been a while since his last stoppage. The boxing world is buzzing, and we can't wait to see what happens next.
Reports from training camp have added even more intrigue to the build-up of this blockbuster fight. According to Showbiz The Adult, Canelo Alvarez has been measured during sparring sessions with Jaron Boots Ennis, choosing to conserve energy and avoid taking unnecessary risks ahead of the big night. While this approach could simply be smart preservation, some observers speculate it might hint at uncertainties in his preparation. More dramatic claims even suggest that Canelo was knocked down in the 3rd round by Ennis and visibly struggled with the younger fighter's speed and explosiveness. Though unverified, these rumors have sparked debate among fans and analysts, raising the question of whether Alvarez may be showing early signs of decline. If there is any truth to these whispers, Terence Crawford, known for capitalizing on small openings, could find exactly the kind of weakness that turns the fight in his favor.
And let's talk about what we do know about Canelo Alvarez bringing Boots to training camp and what we can concur. First, you must understand that Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is September 13th. Okay, that's just a few weeks away. Almost 3 weeks away, something like that. It's just a few weeks away. So to expect them to have hardcore sparring, like real sparring, where they're fighting each other and they're really just going hard and sparring, pause, I don't really see that happening, because you don't want a cut or anything, and you don't want anything to threaten the fight September 13th. Also, not only is Canelo Alvarez fighting soon, September 13th, but Boots Ennis, he has to fight against Lima come October. So you don't want Canelo Alvarez beating up on Boots either and cutting him or anything like that, blackening his eye or detached retina or anything like that. You don't want any incidents like that. So understand that they're probably sparring light to mid. They're definitely not going hard in there. Okay, pause. So we have to really put it aside that either one, I don't think Canelo will be beating the hell out of Boots or Boots beating the hell out of Canelo. But what I can see is if Boots is moving around and Canelo can't catch him, like let's say Boots is like pop, pop, piecing him up with some light work and Canelo can't get to him, which, you know, that's kind of different than a real fight. In a real fight, you know, Canelo will be breaking you down and then you kind of get tired over time. But still, if they're working on cutting off the ring, if Canelo can't, and Boots is hitting him with, you know, piecing him up and moving and slipping and sliding, and he just can't get to him, that'll be some value added and something to be concerned about, which is why I said it's over.
Greg Hackett views the matchup through a wider lens, describing it as a potential shift in boxing's balance of power. He acknowledges that Canelo Alvarez once held the crown as the sport's top pound-for-pound fighter, but reminds that every era eventually comes to an end. In Hackett's eyes, Terence Crawford could be the man to close that chapter. He highlights Crawford's technical mastery, discipline, and relentless drive as qualities that might usher in a new era for the sport. For Hackett, this showdown isn't just about titles or rankings. It's about timing, legacy, and the moment when one generation makes way for the next.
Canelo is the guy, right? But everybody know that shit got to come to an end one day. Nothing is forever. And I'm not saying this is now. I'm not saying that. But Bud could possibly be the end for him because Bud has what it takes. I'm not saying Bud will win, but I'm just saying he has what it takes. He's not afraid of Canelo. You know what I'm saying? 2, he has the skills to be able to deal with Canelo. Does he have the power? I don't know, but he is a puncher. He's a puncher because his record says so. You know what I'm saying? Canelo is a puncher as well. So what I see is a great respect for each other, but after 4 rounds, I see a war breaking out. And whoever can stand it, meaning whoever can take that shit that's coming their way, that's who wins the fight. You know,
man, I don't know if Bud wants that. I don't know if Bud wants a war with that dude.
Yeah,
that granted, he got a granted ass chin. But you saying he's a puncher because his record says so. So you gotta assume that you making the assumption that he can crack. Because Errol said he can crack. That's what Errol came out. Errol, I think, said he thought, was getting Canelo. I don't know whether that's, him trying to pay him back for saying that, for what Terence said about him. This other fight, man, I got it into the title, man. And I appreciate you letting me pick your brain, man. Because I'm going to steal your predictions. And then I'm going to give you credit for it at the same time, dog. I ain't going to be like everybody else. I'm going to steal your shit and give you credit for it at the same time, dog. Devin, I'm starting to think, man, maybe Devin Haney's a little underrated, man. Going into this Brian Norman fight. Like, I've had my own personal issues with the dude and his pops, but that shit aside, the dude knows what he's doing in the boxing ring. He's been in there with a bunch of fights. He's a championship world-class level fighter, bro.
John Ryder offers a first-hand account from his own sparring experiences with Canelo Alvarez. He recalls pushing through 12 demanding rounds in training, which showcased the Mexican star's relentless work ethic and stamina. Ryder explains that Canelo's consistency and ability to remain composed over long stretches make him extremely difficult to wear down, qualities that have helped him stay at the elite level for so many years. His perspective adds balance to the debate. While some question whether Canelo's power is overstated, Ryder's testimony reminds fans that Alvarez's combination of skill, conditioning, and experience still makes him a formidable challenge for anyone willing to step into the ring with him.
For him, waiting for a big fight, and giving him, like, he had his hands full with you, and obviously there was triumph for you there, not just going the distance, but going the distance with severe injury as well, right?
Of course, yeah, and I think that I want to be a trainer where I can go to people, look, I don't want to tell them things and they go, right, well, listen to him because he's been there, he's done it himself. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be telling them to run through walls and not having done it myself. Like, if you need to bite down and push through because you still got a shot in this game, then do it. And listen, I've stood there toe to toe with one of the greatest pound for pound fights out there, nose broken in the second and pushed him to the 12th final round. But I know now I can call on that in the future with fighters I train and just say, look, now you got to dig deep, now you got to pull through, and it's going to hurt today, but tomorrow's another day.
While Jaron Boots Ennis has gained attention for his sparring sessions with Canelo Alvarez, he has also faced criticism. Some skeptics claim that he may have held back during those rounds, or that financial incentives influenced how hard he pushed. These doubts raise questions about what really happens behind closed doors in training camps. Such speculation carries weight because sparring stories often find their way into the public and shape how fans and analysts view a fighter's readiness. If Ennis did ease up on Canelo, it could create a misleading picture. But if he truly exposed vulnerabilities, then Crawford's team may have gained valuable insight heading into the fight.
Pathetic. Purely pathetic. Terence Crawford's team inflicting race in this situation in reference to Jerome Boots Ennis training and sparring with Canelo Alvarez, Mexican superstar, Latino superstar, the 4th division world champion, super middleweight undisputed, because Jerome Boots Ennis, a brother, is training with Canelo Alvarez, then he's a sellout to his people? Really? This what Terence Crawford's team had to say in reference to Jerome Boots Ennis, the former unified champion of the welterweight division, training and sparring with Canelo Alvarez.
He sold out. That's all I can say. He sold out now.
It's pathetic, man. Because he's a sellout because he's training with Canelo. Hey, yo, Birdie the Boxer and people that, and Terence Crawford's members that feel this way, do y'all feel the same way about Isaú? Yeah, the Latino trainer, the Guatemalan trainer that been training Terence Crawford since 14 years old. That's how y'all look at him? Y'all look at him like he's a sellout? Is he a sellout to Latinos because he trains Terence Crawford? Yo, for real, I never heard that in the sport of boxing, where Latino trains with a black fighter and he's a sellout to Latinos. I never heard, I've never seen it. Why is this self-victimhood, this ingrained hate that some blacks have for Latinos?
Gareth A. Davies and Duke McKenzie emphasized just how significant this fight is for today's boxing landscape. In an era where many top names often steer clear of dangerous opponents, the showdown between Crawford and Canelo stands out as a rare exception. It unites two of the sport's most accomplished fighters in a matchup fans have been calling for over the years. To Davies and McKenzie, this isn't just another date on the boxing calendar. It's a defining moment where elite talent collides, and greatness is measured against greatness. They stress that fights like this are rare, offering audiences the chance to see history unfold and legacies cemented right before their eyes.
Great, marvellous Marvin Hagler became a friend in life and was an amazing man.
An amazing
character. I've likened this fight to those two when they met, with one going up in weight, quite a big step. I've mentioned it to the two guys when I saw them in Riyadh last week as well. First of all, I was backing Terence Crawford to win this on points, with his skills to pay the bills and his speed and his timing and his spitefulness and the fact that he's raising his game. When we see here as well, by the way, the pushing and shoving in New York in the earlier press conference, I think he's poked the bear a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Canelo's very dangerous. And I think Canelo might win this.
My money's on Crawford. My money's clearly on Crawford. I mean, there's so many different ways of looking at this fight, but I really believe.
Do you like it?
It's the best fight in world boxing by none, at any weight division.
Because of the stylistic matchup, because of the raise in levels, and because of the weight differential.
Yeah, and because we're looking at two of the best undisputed modern day boxers that have ever lived, in my opinion, modern day boxers that have lived. In this current generation that we're in now, you're not going to get two better fighters fighting at this time in their careers.
Jaron Ennis hasn't hesitated to share his opinion on Crawford's bold move. He cautions that jumping straight into a fight with a naturally bigger opponent like Canelo, without first testing the waters at the higher weight, could prove risky. Ennis stresses that size and strength advantages matter, and that gradually adjusting to a new division is usually the wiser route. His perspective adds a note of caution to the pre-fight conversation, reminding fans that while Crawford's skill set is world-class, he is still entering unfamiliar territory against a fighter accustomed to competing at a heavier weight.
But I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo, because like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So, so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight. At like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body, to fill into somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now. But I think he should, just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
Gerald Miller speaks from a fighter's perspective, offering words of encouragement for Crawford. He praises Crawford's determination and hunger, qualities he believes can tip the scales even against a naturally larger opponent. Miller downplays the concern over size differences, arguing that mental toughness and sheer willpower often decide the outcome of high-level fights. In his view, Crawford's relentless drive could outweigh any physical disadvantages. His take brings a sense of optimism to the discussion, reflecting the belief among many in the boxing world that Crawford has what it takes to score a career-defining victory.
Crawford, huge fight September 13th. Who do you think's going to win that?
I'm pulling for Crawford in this one. I think people was underestimating his strength right now and his size. And I think he's a little more hungry than Canelo. So let's see though. But I like both guys, but I'm more a little closer to Crawford, so I want to see Crawford can take it.
And lastly, quick mention on IBA Pro. Interesting concept that, you know, people records on the line. So I know in boxing, you know, people don't like risking their own and things. Do you feel like this is a step forward, so this could become a major player in boxing?
I think it definitely can. I mean, any opportunity to make some money and build your repertoire and your arsenal.
Analysts agree that Crawford's strategy will ultimately determine the outcome. This matchup isn't just about trading punches. It's about executing a disciplined game plan designed to offset Canelo's strengths. A victory over a champion of Canelo's stature would place Crawford firmly among the all-time greats, silencing any lingering doubts about his legacy. To make that happen, Crawford will need to rely on his ring IQ, sharp timing, and adaptability rather than sheer power. Patience, accuracy, and control will be the keys. If he can stay composed under pressure and capitalize on openings, the night could very well belong to him.
Understands that he has to be smart. And I think with this one specifically, it ain't just about being smart. He knows he has to look like he's never looked before, because again, if he doesn't and he beats Canelo, everybody's just gonna say, well, that's Crawford, you know? So I think he knows that this is the performance of a lifetime and everything has to look right. He knows in order for it to look right, he can't just go out there and let the dog go. The dog is, you know, you got to work his way up to the dog. Hey, show the clip real quick. I don't know if you showed it already, but this is the dog you're talking about right here, right? And so this is, I pulled this clip right here. I seen it on social media this morning.
Don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
And I pulled this clip, right? But this is Terence.
That's who he is.
He's not gonna swing on Canelo. He already know that part of the game.
That's it for today's video.